Ah! How do you become confident on camera? Hey everyone, Howard here. And I know what it's like when you're getting on camera, you're doing a photo shoot or something, a video is being recorded for your YouTube channel or maybe for Snapchat or something, and you go all nervous. How is it that some people are just natural on camera and seem really confident, and then other people, when it happens for you, your mouth goes dry, your mind goes blank, and you don't know what to say? All right. So in this episode, I want to talk about how to become confident and comfortable on camera so it just feels really, really natural. Now, I've done hundreds of videos over the last few years. I didn't use it. I'm not a natural on camera, I would say. It's definitely taken practice. Now, there are videos of me out there on the internet of some of the first videos I ever did years ago for like businesses I did 15 years ago, and they're awkward. I look geeky. It's just like a bit cringeworthy. And that's natural. Even look at someone like Gary Vaynerchuk, if you know the famous, probably one of the biggest names in personal branding in the world today. He owns a massive agency called Vayner Media. Now, Gary Vaynerchuk, he's shared his first videos that he ever did, and they are awful. So I think it's actually encouraging to know that everyone starts from somewhere. All right. So it's up to you to think about how do you become really comfortable and become great on camera. And in this episode, I want to talk about 3 ways to get comfortable and confident on camera. So number 1 is to personalize. Now, this is a kind of ninja Jedi mind trick, is to personalize what you're doing on camera away from you and instead making it about another person. So let me give an example of that. Most people, the reason you're nervous when you're on camera and you're recording is because you're thinking about yourself. Oh, what if I stumble my words? What if I say the wrong thing? What if I look stupid? And you're thinking about yourself the whole time. All right. What if you shifted that around, and instead of thinking about yourself, think about that one person that will really love the video you're creating today. All right. Now, this is a trick that I learned when, I can't remember who taught it to me, when I started doing public speaking. So I do a lot of public speaking. All right. And I have done for years, running events and things like that. And I'd get nervous. Of course, everyone gets nervous doing public speaking, just like videos. Like, it's one of those things, like most people get nervous before they start. And I found that the thing I was always nervous about was how I looked. Okay. So what I tried to get out of my head was, okay, stop thinking about myself. Think about one person in the audience that is maybe a beginner. All right. And ideally, if you know that person that is going to be there in the audience, and for video, that one person that would be watching the video, like, picture them in your mind's eye. Don't picture this like person who's an expert who's going to be like going, oh no, I don't think that's right. Don't think about that person. Think about someone who's just a beginner and would love to hear what you're going to teach, what you're going to talk about on your video. All right, just think about that. There's going to be people that will be like, wow, that's so cool. There's some people that have not had the experience you have had, and you could genuinely change their life with the video that you're about to record. So I remember I would think about that before I go on stage for a talk. I get out of my head about all these like experts in the room that maybe know more than me. I stop thinking about myself, and I think about this one person in the room who I could really, really help and maybe even change their life. Maybe they've just started out. Okay. And I do the same for video. All right. I think about this one person who I know is trying to do video and they're not very good at it. So I really focus on them, and it just takes it away from me, and it turns my nerves into me serving. So it's a saying that I've heard before, which is turn nervous into service. Turn nervous into service. Okay. So that's tip number one. Turn nervous into service. And it'll just change the whole energy about your video. All right. Tip number two is play and practice. Okay. So tip number two is really about like practicing. Like, think about it. If you want to be great at guitar, okay, what happens? Are you going to just pick up a guitar the first time and you're going to be great at it? No, that's not the way it works. It takes practice and practice and practice. And you don't like play the guitar 3 times and expect to be great at it. No, you have to keep on practicing. I always remember when I started getting into baking bread, about a year ago. I'd never baked sourdough bread before, and I had to really learn like how to use the bread and the sourdough culture. And then the first few times I baked the bread, it came out horribly. Like the first time it was terrible, and then I burnt the bread another time, and then I got really lucky and it was a really good bread, and then the next bread was terrible, and it just took time. And here's the thing, no one is born being great at baking bread. And no one is born being great at the guitar. You can have natural, you might have natural ability for things, but no one's great at those things. You have to learn it. And guess what? This kind of camera thing is exactly the same. It's practice. You need to practice it. Just like going to the gym, if you're going to run a marathon, you don't run the 40K marathon first time. It takes practice. You need to build up that muscle. So keep on going and practice and practice and practice. And the right way to do that, the only way to do it is just for video, is just record videos. I like to think about it this way. If you're just getting into recording, and I know a lot of you will be, just think about it this way. Assume your first 20 videos are going to suck. Okay? Assume the first 20 videos are going to suck. And that's cool, because that means you just need to get through your first 20 videos. And from number 21, it'll start getting better. So if you're only starting out and you've only recorded maybe one video before, you still have another 19 to go. And you know what's cool about that? It just takes the pressure off. It's like, oh, this video doesn't need to be perfect. I'll get perfect later. This video I'm about to record is just practice. Okay? And assume that your first 20 are going to suck. It takes the pressure off, and then you just create them. Now, there's a lot of really great tools out there. I'm not going to use in this episode talk about all the different cameras and the different microphones and stuff like that. And I can cover that in a different episode, the stuff I use and the stuff I recommend. But like, what's really good for practicing is, there's a lot of different apps out there, like Snapchat, like Instagram Live, like Facebook Live. I use something called Ecamm Live and OneStream. Like, there's lots of different live streaming software out there, and there's no better way, like, honestly, to get better than just hitting record and just going for it. And sure, you'll make mistakes. Of course you will. But there's just something extra you learn from publishing it, as well as, like, don't get me wrong, just recording it and keeping it on your phone is one thing, and don't worry, that's okay. That's still great. But recording it and live streaming, you just learn something even more. Trust me, you will get better faster from live streaming 20 videos than you will recording 20 videos and never hitting publish. Just saying. But it's up to you to choose. All right. And then tip number 3 is perform at your best. Perform. So, yeah, being on video is a bit of a performance, isn't it? So think about, how can you perform at your best? How can you show up at your best? And there's a few things that you want to consider there. Think about this. I'm standing up right now. So my energy is, the reason I have a standing up desk when I'm doing all of my videos is because for anything I'm doing where I'm recording, if I'm doing a podcast, I'm doing a video, or I'm teaching something to my students, I'm always standing up. I do my sales calls standing up. I'm doing a sales call because my energy is just bigger. All right. Think that compared to if you probably see someone who's sitting down, hunched over a video. It's just like their energy is not there. So think about like what would you need to do to perform at your best? You want to be standing up? Do you want to be sitting down? And another part of performance is your pace. So commonly when people get nervous, they speak really loud and they speak it really, really fast, and then it's really hard for people to understand, and then your mouth goes dry and then you start forgetting what you're going to say. All right. So a lot of people don't pace themselves well, and it takes confidence, it takes practice and resolve to have gaps, because it's the gaps that usually create the tension. And if you're trying to emphasize a point, you want to have some gaps. So I think everybody, when they're recording, could probably slow down by their speaking by 20%. And then as you get better, you'll start introducing pauses because they create effect. Okay? So really, when it comes to performance, consider what do you need to do to show up as your best self. Like maybe there's some music you want to listen to get into state. So there's one song I listen to before I get on camera that just like puts me in a mood. I remember they used to play that song when I was doing CrossFit, and it's just like let's do this, let's attack this. Just gives me lots of energy. Now you think about what song does that for you. It might be a good idea to listen to that, then get yourself in the right posture. You might be standing up, and then pace yourself right. So in this episode, what we've been talking about is how to get confident on camera. And there's, we talked about like, some people are naturally good at it, but really I think most of it comes down to discipline and learning how to get good at it, right? And there's really three things. One is personalize. Get out of your head and turn nervous into service. The second thing is practice. Just like you're trying to get good at the guitar, it takes time, and you're not going to be good for the first 20 videos, and that's okay. Be excited about that. You're like, yes, number 15 sucked. That's great. I've only 5 more to go and I'll start getting good. Okay. And then tip number 3 is about perform, pacing yourself, getting the right energy and getting yourself in state, maybe with the right piece of music. All right. So guys, hopefully this is useful, and I can't wait to see how you get confident and comfortable on camera. I'd love to see them when you start recording your first things. Please do share them with me. Share them in the comments of this episode or email them to me. And by the way, how I can help you further, if you want to join a live training with me, I regularly do live trainings at least twice a month, sometimes every single week. There's a link in the episode in the show notes for this below. Just click on the link. You can join completely for free. It'll be a training on sales or on marketing, and you can interact with me live and ask me questions. I look forward to seeing you there. Or if you want some more faster one-on-one help for your certain situation, I've asked my coaching team to open up a few slots this week. So if you want to join my coaching team on a call where they'll help you map out your plan for the year and figure out what you need help with, really happy to offer that to any listeners to this episode, completely free of charge, but there's a limited number that's available every single episode. And love you to join me. So just click a link below this episode in the notes, and you'll be able to join that way. All right. So guys, thank you so much. I'll see you on the next episode. Don't forget to subscribe and like this episode, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.